A newly launched clothing line is rapidly increasing in popularity. Every month, 7% more items of clothing are sold. 64,650 items were sold initially. What equation models the situation? So let's look back at the exponential function. So A is our y-intercept. That's going to be our starting amount or initial value, or think y-intercept when x is 0. And then B is going to be our growth or decay factor. So we just looked at this example and it says 7% more. So that means that we have an example of exponential growth. So we're going to start by calculating our A, that's our initial value. Well, that is directly given to us. So we already know that our initial value is 64,650. So now we have to figure out how to represent our exponential growth factor. So whenever I do that, I convert this to a decimal. So 7% is a decimal. 7 divided by 100 would be 0.07. So the way to calculate our B is we want 1 plus, 1 is like 100%. Let's keep what we have, plus we want to increase it 7%, which is our 0.07. So our B, our growth factor, will be 1.07. So I'm going to go back to the slide. I'm going to type that in. So our A, our initial value, was 64,650. And our growth factor was 1.07. So we want to figure out how many items will be sold 12 months from now. So our 12 is going to be our X. So if you look back over here, Y is going to be our output, X is our input. So X is the amount of time that has passed. Usually it's time. If we find other examples, I'll explain it better. And Y would be the output, given the amount of time that has passed. So we have our function. I have my calculator right here. It is a little blurry. Let me zoom in. Okay. So we had 64,650. And I'm just going to use parentheses and I'm going to insert the 1.07. And I'm going to raise it to the power of 12 because that's the number of years we want to know or that have passed. And I'm going to write that number just in case you can't really see it that well. I got 145,604.1862. All right, so that's the decimal or the answer that I got. Looking back at our slide, it did give us rules for rounding. It says round to the nearest whole number. So that would be 145,604. So if your example had been a decrease, the difference would be that you would subtract it from 1 instead of adding it.